Good afternoon from a cold, grey, breezy, miserable Peterborough. If you remember my wildlife pond, I put a pump in with a filtration system and all that, and if anybody out there is thinking how well did it perform, have a look at the clarity of this. That is the pump on the bottom. It's absolutely crystal clear. Plants are growing. To get that weed out, plants are growing. But first, let's see what we did this morning. Good morning. We'll do the Peterborough bit in a minute, but we are on location down south. So I've come with Cat. But the reason why we've come is this gentleman, and you should know him. This is Krafty Koi. Morning, Krafty.
Morning, mate.
Or morning, Anthony. So Anthony's going to do a walkthrough of his department at Perfect Aquatics. So over to you, mate.
Okay then, so for those people that have never been here before, it's a huge establishment, as Steve's just found out. In total 60 ponds. Not all of them are in ready for retail yet, and I'll talk you through that a little bit later on. But the first part you see in my department is as you come through the doors, you're met by very nice display of Evolution Aqua materials and equipment, and we are a huge stockist of all EA equipment, including beads, filters at every level, and also the additional items. Come through, mate. So absolutely everything Evolution Aqua is on store. If we ain't got it on the shelf, we can get it on order and delivered within 24 hours. So it's something that is my brand, as people already know. If people know me, my go-to brand. So part of me seeing this here is selling something that I love to use personally as well. And they've already seen the sales on that. So we cater for not just the higher end or supreme end of koi equipment. We literally sell absolutely everything to do with cold water ponds. So budget end all the way through to superior. So we will cater for whatever it is that you require if you're opening a pond in the garden. Okay, so if you follow me through, are you still recording?
Oh yes, so away you go.
If you follow me through, we'll go through some of these bits in a moment. But I think that the bit that everybody likes to see is the koi. So we'll go to the koi section. Just watch out, it's a bit slippery on the floor here. So the start of the fish section for the koi is here. We run 12 ponds down the left, 7 ponds in the centre, 10 ponds to the right hand side, it's probably out the shop now, and a load more ponds outside. So how are you playing it with your fish? With the fish, are you doing that separately? You're going to drop that in separately?
No, we'll just add it on.
Okay then, so supply to our fish is koi wholesale through Ricky Stoddart. If people haven't seen his channel, go over and have a look. He is also the founder of Koi Talk magazine as well. So every single koi that we sell in store is Japanese quality that Rick himself will pick. And if people know who Ricky is or don't know who he has been in the game a long time, and he obviously running a business, he will not accept a load of rubbish coming through his ponds, which means I don't get a lot of rubbish either. Now the reason why we use koi wholesale is because they import, they take the risk of the KHV that is potentially being brought in. They do all the quarantine processing, they test the fish at their establishment, and once it's all cleared, it is then out for sale, and that is when I get to choose what it is that we're going to stock in the shop. So that means that I am minimising any risk to the shop and all the ponds that we've got down here at Perfect Aquatics. So these fish are high quality asagi from Oya. They've been selected from a batch. Now they are quite shy at the moment. As soon as I've moved, they like to sit at the back of the tank. However, we've introduced a few smaller fish in there to help coax them out, and they do come out if there's not any major movements. But since I've separated these out, I've had quite a lot of interest, and believe it or not, it's quite nice to hear that people have listened to the likes of myself and Alan Tate with regards to the koi appreciation and what to look for in a young asagi of good quality, where you're not seeing all the benny markings appear, and that has really been taken on by people, and I think that they've appreciated that now, which to me is extremely important, because we have got some smaller asagi on the tozais that are fully developed, and they've got a place. But if you're looking for quality, you don't want to buy one of these, because in 5-6 years time it's not going to carry the same quality as what it is when you buy it. So as you come through, you will see, I'm not going to go through every single pond of what we've got, but you will see that we cater for every walk of life with regards to the koi. People just starting out, people just filling ponds. You don't have to buy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of fish to get a nice koi. We all start somewhere, and I know that I certainly started by buying some smaller, cheaper end koi, and then as you start then to develop into the hobby, you then start to change your appreciation and your bank account and the amount of money that you spend on that. But that's because you appreciate what it is that you're actually buying, rather than just seeing a pond filler. So we will always stock from, I'm going to call it levels, so from beginner all the way through to experienced hobbyist, because it's better to cater for everyone rather than one niche market, especially when you've got 60 ponds to fill. Okay, so as we come through, quite a popular bat is a mixed tosai mix that we've got. Some very nice platinum ogons in there, magoi, Kahaku, Kikaryu, even little chags in there as well. So quite obtainable, 30 quid a piece they are, and decent size. They've thinned up quite a lot, been quite a good seller already before the season starts.
Are those Sankey still popular, or people changing to other types of breeds, of colours, sorry?
So, believe it or not, Go Sankey is not the most popular. I think with more experienced hobbyists, those people that like the Go Sankey will go to them because they know how to understand them more. So with the more like sparkly range or the Deutz range, they are generally a more go-to sort of fish for people that are not experienced, because they're more attractive. When you get a young tozai at shower level, they can be extremely ugly, and unless you know where they're going to go to, people tend to turn away from them. So in here you can see there's some nice little asagi that are, you know, got all the benny on them already.
They are beautiful.
And again, some of the Ginrin achagi in there are really lovely as well, and you can see why people buy them at this size.
Yeah.
And you can see why people don't, when you look at the higher quality ones, you can see why people don't necessarily go straight to them, because they're not finished.
Yes.
Okay. So something else here, as part of a process that we bring in, when I come into the shop in the morning, we do a complete observation check on every single pond, spending enough time on there to make sure that we haven't developed a problem overnight. If we see any fish acting outside of normal behaviour, we will isolate that fish. Come through, mate. We will isolate that fish. We will take a scrape. We will do a biopsy on it. We will make sure that that fish is clean. If it isn't, we will then administer the relevant treatment for that fish. Obviously, we are suppliers, I think I've got 3,500 pieces in the shop at the moment. So if we were to ignore that, then potentially not only are we putting our stock at risk, but we're also putting our customers' ponds at risk. So one thing when I come into the shop, I wanted to ensure is that fish health, parasites, etc., are dealt with, you know, as a priority to absolutely anything, including netting the fish for a customer. I would rather a customer walk out the shop without the fish, and me not knowing whether or not there's an issue with it, than what I would deal with the problem that's in a pond. And it's for the exact reason of making sure that your ponds are not affected with anything that has been caused from my shop. So, you know, and that is why if I've got I would rather 10 ponds being treated and off sale than selling one koi that's going to make an issue to me. That is why any pond will go under treatment and will be taken off the shelf. Okay, so Marmite fish, but actually, in my opinion, there are some very nice longfins. They are very good sellers. Generally, when the blokes are bringing the missus in, the missus tend to leave with a bag of 3 of them to, you know, of their choice, just so the bloke gets some fish, which is, you know, I'm all for, to be fair, because before long they come back in and buy others. Personal favourite of mine is Gimlet Subas.
Yeah.
I've spent lots of minutes staring into this vat, and there are 3 or 4 very good quality koi in there, but I've decided to leave them in rather than take them off. So if you've got a good eye and you know what you're looking at, you'll get yourself a bargain at 40 quid, I promise you that. Sakazumi, again, now you're starting to see the amount of different breeders that we've got in store. You know, you've not just got 6 ponds to choose from, you have got 60 ponds to choose from when they're all on sale. So because of that, we've got the beauty of having lots and lots of different selections in store with different breeders, different varieties, probably more than any other store that I've visited in the UK, and I have actually been to loads.
Yeah, we have been to loads, and this is huge.
You know,
Just
I've got a big
huge.
operation on here.
Yes, yes.
I ain't gonna lie. A metallic mix from Yamazaki even. Very nice Hikari mix. And there is an Akamatsuba in there that is huge for a tozai. And you will pick him up. I promise you. When you will see him, you will go, oh my god. So we've just gone at the back with our, here he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that will stay as tozai. However, if it keeps getting bigger, I'm going to have no other option as to take it out of that tank and price it up more. Because it's going to be worth more, you know. So someone needs to buy it.
He's pushing for a sale here.
Okay, so again, a very decent tank. These fish have come on loads since we brought them in. There are some really nice fish in there if you've got a good eye.
Yes.
Hyotsuura is a particular favourite of mine.
They're quite difficult to get hold of at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, something I've asked for. Omasako is what we're looking for on them, though, to be honest. Let's move this bowl on the way. Some more Oyarasagi. You'll see though, this is what I've selected out of. You'll see that there's lots more belly on these fish, which is why I know that the other ones, the belly will come later on, which means that not only that, but they are a better quality. The scalation and reticulation on them is a lot better intact than the one that is actually. Okay, so there's a very nice Shisui in here that is extremely blue. It has been sold.
No.
It's been sold. I literally put one Facebook post up and it went within 30 seconds. But these here oi fish are actually, for me, one of the better end of tozai that we've got. Is that one there?
Yeah.
Yes, I see him.
One thing that I have noticed with a lot of shisuis is the blue disappears quite rapidly.
Correct. However,
which is annoying.
However, when I see nat fish, I spoke to Mr. Tate and I said, right Al, this to me, the pigment in the blue is very deep. And I sent him a picture and he come back and went, true blue.
Yeah, wow.
He said the quality in that is good, very good, and it will stay because the pigment is so deep in it. So unfortunately, some of the other ones where you're seeing the blue, you'll see that the pigment isn't as deep as what it is on that small one.
Yep.
Which is why it actually carried a bit more of a price tag, to be fair, and quite rightly so. But these fish have been again good sellers, and there's one Deutsche shower in there that catches my eye every time I'm looking into the tank, and it's quite heavily laden with sumi, and there's a nice red spot on its head, not tancho, but a real deep bit of benny. It's this one here.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason that always stands out to me. But that's the connection you get with caught. You know, what's good to my eye isn't always good to someone else's, you know?
No, of course.
So we'll do inside. So this pond is one of our main display ponds. As you can see, it carries some fairly sizable fish in here. The tanchos are particularly nice, the krashikois are very nice, but I've got 3 Dainichi fish in here now that are absolutely fabulous, and the kin matsuba, thank you, the kin matsuba, which are these 2 varieties, very high quality fish, come with breeder certificates as well, and there's also, they're from the Botan line. So if you have a look at what the Botan line is, you will know the parent fish on these, on the Botan line, is very good. Along with, I've got a red tiger Benagoi from Dainichi as well, swimming across there. He's lovely. And again, if you know what the red tiger line is, it will carry the pigment of the Benny in it, high quality, and it will carry it and carry it and carry it. Took a bit of a knock in the tank by charging into the side of it, but nothing to worry about, that'll peel out in the end. We've got very nice Deutsche Krashikois in here as well, extremely friendly fish. Hungry as they come. I'm just going to throw a few carrots in so you can see it. They haven't got any manners. I don't mind that, to be fair. It means they're healthy if they're slapping. As you can see, all fish coming straight up.
Yeah,
You like that, do you?
Absolutely beautiful.
That's the one I noticed.
I like these 50 quid fish, they're just fantastic.
Yeah, me too, mate.
Yeah.
Me too. As we come down, so another thing that I've introduced into the store, I'm putting together my own selection. Okay, so these fish, all of the Shiro Atsuris, the black and whites in there, they are Osaka from Ricky, and Ricky is currently documenting them at the moment. We've got some very nice goshki in there as well, nice Sankey. The fish in there are of a very decent quality, and this is where I'm focusing on mid-range hobbyists that are prepared to pay a little bit more money for their fish. That's the most interesting one in there, Steve.
I love that one.
However, for me,
Such
the best Shiro is this one. It's got a lot to do,
potential.
but the body on it is absolutely to die for.
That's the one to have.
Yeah.
New stock just in. And for those people that know Showa, Issa Showa are one of the contenders in the industry, along with Sakai and obviously Dainichi. But people that know Issa know that the body on Issa fish is extremely powerful. Although Tozai, you will be able to pick out a couple of fish in there that are already shooting. And there's 4 fish in there that are already showing that they've got potential to get big. That one being one.
Yes.
This one's quite a nice body on it as well.
Yep.
But there's a few in there. I've got a few more of these at the back, but I didn't want to overload the tank, just to ensure that they was kept in really good quality. Again, like going back to what you were saying with regard to the Gosanki, some of the show are in there. The Benny's washed out, the Sumi's washed out, the Shiroji is washed out, and that is because they're young and they've still got a lot of developing to do, and they're also indoors now. So you know the Benny development will definitely retract being indoors. When you move them outside and the UV start hitting them, they will really come on strong. You know. Then we've got Ginrin Platinum, height at the top end of Tozai now. Carry a decent price tag because of the size of them, to be honest. Again, I've got the ability to get big if you feed them well enough. I don't really need to sell these up. They are a very nice sparkly fish to add to a pond.
They sell themselves.
They do, certainly do.
They are very sparkly.
It's the bling,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
bling for the pond, so to speak. Very popular pond. These fish have come on leaps and bounds since I've been here. Finned out probably 33%, I would say, have gone out of here now. But every single week they are bodying a treat. We do feed sake akari in the shop to all of our koi. And if I was to lift a fish out, which I'm not going to because I don't need to, but you will see the skin quality is absolutely popping on it.
It's almost like fingerprints on that one.
Yeah.
It's gone right to the back. It's like it's got 4 fingerprints on it.
There's a nice one in the metallic range that it looks like a negative.
Okay.
As if it's embossed. It should be the other way around, but it's real. It's a different fish. You know, again, for me, quite a nice pond. Sakizumi Tozai, again, you'll notice we've got a lot of Tozai, but you'll also notice that the Tozai that we've got come in at quite different sizes. And that is because we aim to sell a nice, healthy young fish at different levels. So 120 quid for a Tozai is aimed at more the mid-range sort of hobbyist. The younger stuff, again, aimed at anybody, but is more attractive to those people just starting out, particularly kids as well that don't have a lot of money. You know, and it gets them into the hobby. And it's been quite nice actually recently. Quite a few younger generation coming in to buy 2 or 3 fish, and they wouldn't do that if it was all £120 plus fish. Very sought after.
Oh yeah.
Ayawakabas, very lovely. We've also got some Ginrin Achiba, some Ginrin Saragoi, and you've got normal Achiba in there, was it sold?
You might want. Yes, that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So again,
Some of my
these are
favourites
actually
in here.
really lovely. If you look at the quality in these, and the Krashigoi as well, you don't often see Krashigoi at this sort of size. You tend to find that a lot of breeders keep them.
Yeah.
A lot of retailers keep them that right up.
Yeah.
You know, but again, some lovely fish.
Yes.
some lovely fish. And again, decent quality price. But if you follow me, guys, I'll show you outside. One thing that I failed to mention is that every one of our ponds is individually filtered. Okay, so we don't run multiple ponds through multiple ponds through single filters. Every single pond that you see on our site has got its own filtration, right? Which means that again, I am minimising risk. So one pond, one filter, one problem, one pond. So I don't get a pond and then infect half of the, I have to take half of the ponds off and treat more fish than is absolutely required. The main pond itself is run off an Oase system as well. So that gives us the ability to sell Oase and EA stuff. And we can show it all working. We've also got Backy shower and a Tempest over in the corner. And what you'll see on the wall here and here is all the converters, because we generate 150 kilowatts of energy from solar panels on roofing, which means that we not only cut our costs, but we are also green towards the environment as much as we can possibly be. So outside, guys, we've got a lot of work to do here, but that said, this place has been around for 30 years. Okay, and I think that you'll see just from inside the shop, it's a big place. Big places take a lot of management, they take a lot of care, and you have to do things in stages. So the project for this year, that's a heron scarer if you can hear it. The project for this year is to update all of the filter systems from multi-bay to individual units. Although they are still individually filtered, they are all individually filtered with multi-bays, which means that they're a little bit more labour intensive. What I want to do is update these systems, make them less labour intensive, which means that we can concentrate more on looking after the fish as well as selling them to you guys. So at the moment, the ponds down the left hand side are currently running but awaiting stock. So I've got 300 pieces coming from Coda, and I'm also running an event very soon, so this will be an exclusive for you, Steve. I am running an event very soon. I've bought a pond of 170 Momotaro Kahaku, and they are due to be coming straight from Japan. I believe, talking to Ricky last, it's probably going to annoy us, isn't it, that? Talking to Ricky last, about 3 weeks time, and then they've got to go through the quarantine process. So we'll be looking mid-season to bring them out. Now, I've already got Lee Hadfield on site. Alan Tate's coming down. I believe Ricky's going to help market it and come down as well. I'm inviting you, Steve, now.
Thank you very much.
But the invite is to bring as many YouTubers together as we possibly can. Okay. And their subscribers as well. And we'll be doing a grow out competition. There'll be 2 prizes run. One for the biggest fish from when they've bought it to what they've then created, i.e. grown. So if you get a 20 cm fish and you make 40, that's 20 centimetre growth. You get 15 centimetre fish and you manage 25, it's only 10. Right, so it's done on how much growth you do. And the other will be quality. Now the quality will be judged by Alan Tate. I haven't asked him yet, but I'm telling him he'll do it. I know that he's on side, he'll do that for me anyway. But between Alan and I, as one of Alan's trainees in the background, we will both be doing a markup and then presenting a prize to be decided yet on what that will be. On the day itself as well, as you can see, we've got a large establishment. We will be offering a percentage discount to anybody that enters on that event, so all dry goods and live goods in store, and also a percentage discount to the Koi Cafe. So we will be making sure that you guys are looked after. If you want to take anything away, if you want to eat here, it'll be on a reduced basis as well. More details to follow. We're still in the planning stages, but I promise you, we've got a big enough establishment here to make it a really, really worthwhile yearly, if not 6 monthly event on certain things. So it may be that another year we'll get some higher end stuff which commands a bit more of a price, but on a reduced audience. Certain things like that. So I've got lots of hundreds of ideas I want to go through. So this here is the outside pond. So one for you, Steve. You'll remember this because you're quite old.
Oh, that's harsh.
This is a Peter Waddington's original filter, right? And that shows how long this has been going. All right. Again, you don't see many Waddy filters knocking about these days. Solid.
Yeah.
Old, but does the job. We've literally just added some more media out here, and the reason for that is because of up the stocking level of the pond. And the reason for that is we've got some larger piece Issa shower out here. The reason why I bought them outside is that their Benny was getting fairly washed out, and I've already started to see the Benny start to really start coming through now. There is my favourite fish in here, Steve, which we was talking about earlier, and she's down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
she's got the nice memoir on her head. The body on that fish is to die for. Now the reason why that fish hasn't sold out of the batch that come through is it had a split dorsal fin. So a lot of people wouldn't purchase it on that basis.
Yep.
For some reason, I don't know what that is. For some reason, people have got to understand that fins get damaged. Right, they'll get damaged in your pond. As long as the damage isn't all the way down to the bone into the skin, the fin will regenerate, but it has to be in heat.
Yes.
Right, so I've moved them out here, and already I've started to see, as the pond temperatures are rising, that fin has actually started to repair itself. So where it potentially could have had a discount if somebody wanted it because of a damaged fin,
Yeah.
that discount's gone now.
Just going back to what you were saying earlier about the grow and show event that you're going to be
Yeah.
hosting, and you said that one of the prizes will be for the biggest growth.
Yeah.
What about those with unheated ponds? Will there be a separate
Yeah.
section?
I will separate the two.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously on registration I'll be finding out unheated or heated,
Yep.
and then my plan is to photograph every individual fish. So every fish will be photographed with a certificate
Yep.
from Perfect Aquatics, and then it will have the size of the fish on that certificate.
Right.
So
okay.
when it comes to you sending a picture back to us in a measuring bowl, it will then, I can look back and see what you were and what you've achieved.
Yep.
Okay, unheated and heated especially.
So one question I need to ask is, I've probably travelled past 2 well-known koi establishments. Why should anybody drive past 2 or more well-known koi establishments to come to Perfect Aquatics?
I think it's a simple and easy question to answer. First one is quality Japanese carp at every level. So we have got pieces, all right, not £20,000, right, but we have got pieces 1,500 quid. We have got pieces at 900 quid. We've got pieces at 500 pounds. We've got pieces at £12.99.
Yep.
Right. So not only do we cater for the ground all the way up, they are all Japanese, they're all quality. We control risk. We actually pay somebody to take the risk out of what it is that we bring into our ponds. We don't quarantine our own fish, it's all done for us. And we know that Koi Wholesale run a very strict regime on that, probably if not the best in the country. So I will always boast what Koi Wholesale do because it's what we buy. On top of that, we've got the biggest selection of koi carp, I believe, in the UK. All right, we've got 60 ponds. Not all of them are commissioned at the moment, but that is because of plans that I've got going forward. And I've had to make a business decision to reduce some of the ponds down this year, so I can commit a project team to developing the idea that we haven't covered yet.
Yep.
But that said, on top of that, we've also got Koi Cafe, which means that you can come and have a nice coffee and a nice breakfast.
That makes
or-
a big
or lunch.
difference. A big difference. You're travelling for an hour, you want somewhere to sit down, have a breakfast and a cup of coffee. So that for me is a winner.
We've also got ample on-ground parking, so we see a footfall through here at a weekend, I would say in essence of 1,000 people in a day.
1,000 people a day.
And they're not all coming to see the koi, because we've also got another selection of fish which we'll take you around very briefly, but the aquatic section with regards to marine and aquarium and tropical aquariums, as well as that plant stuff that grows in blue light.
Coral, yeah.
So down here, as part of the renovation as well, you'll see that I've already started to update outside ponds. So Pete, the guy that you heard earlier, he has turned his hand to this, and he's done an absolutely spiffing job. All of these tanks are full, so we're looking at Nisai, more Nisai pieces with the exception of the first tank. So again, very junior with regards to the ponds just opening up. There's a huge selection.
Series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
big fan.
This has gone through a water treatment because of blanket weed outbreak. We've got a Kahaki tank, all individually priced. We've then got a Gosanki tank, including 2 rather nice tanchos. We've then got a Chagoy based tank, also some Saragoy, Ginrin Saragoy and a Ginrin Achiever, and then another Gosanki tank towards the end. You'll notice that every one of our ponds has also got individual netting, and that is to control the biosecurity aspect of the fish access. Plans then, Steve, you can pan round that part too. Right, you can see in the background there's a large area that's covered off. The reason why this area is covered off, back in its heyday, it was a huge pond that used to house or boast some rather large koi. Okay, it's become a bit of an unmanageable sort of pond in regards to too much water, too deep, and in honesty, I can make it more attractive and saleable. If I could split this down into 2 or 3 ponds, it's better than having one large pond.
Yeah.
So plans are to do something with this, and that is actually, the crows are in, it's a heron scarer. We've got plans to do something with this. I want to try and update the systems, bring windows into ponds, etc. I'm not going to go too much into it because I want people to come and actually
Don't give all
see
your
it.
secrets away just yet.
Totally right. But and also in the background there, we've got 6 ponds on heat. Plans are to go auction based, Steve, as you already know.
Yep.
I'll be looking to do an auction not only from the shop floor but stream as well, and also internet sales. So I have got the ability then to move customer fish into a holding area, take them off food, ready for transportation, etc., etc. They won't be kept in a pond, and we will literally follow the process to a T. I won't be shipping any koi out in bags on courier that haven't been taken off food, etc. I just won't risk it.
Right.
Because it's unfair for the koi. So anyway, come round here. You're now going to see more of the establishment.
Get to see the pretty.
So this side is more for dry fittings. I'll let you look at them, Steve.
I think
Not
we all know
really
what
exciting.
fittings look like. There is literally thousands. I've never seen so much.
Cold water selection. So obviously, with the name being Perfect Aquatics, it's not just a koi store. We cater with sturgeon, albino, grass carp, ghost koi, goldfish, shabunkin, orth, you name it. We do change these tanks out. They sell fairly quickly, to be honest, even though there's quite a lot of pieces. They sell rather quickly because again, not everybody loves koi, and some people haven't got the setup to keep koi. So another cold water selection for any sort of pond. When they go, we get more in, and we sometimes actually change out the variety of fish that we bring in, so we're constantly keeping a selection available. On top of them, we've
Just
also got
plenty of food.
we've also got a huge range of koi food, aqua sauce, everybody's favourite koi roll. We're proud to be Hikari authorised dealers. As you know, for those people that are serious with their koi, they like to spend that money on it if they can afford it. And tetras, on top of that, full stock of Blagden, Bermuda, and also MT laps equipment and treatments. Medikoi from NT Labs as well, quite a popular variety of food to be fair. We also do the Kasori range of treatments, Absolute range of treatments as well, which is not as well known as other brands, but are still very decent quality. And then we move into all the Lernex stuff as well. So as you can see guys, it's
it's overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming. I've never seen so much equipment and food.
And that's just cold water side, Steve, eh?
I know.
You know? So if we go around this way, this is our tank display area. So we run tanks for everything from to do with tropical, again to starter equipment, all the way through to very expensive marine life equipment as well. The display tanks are actually quite important in this side of the hobby for those guys. And one of our main tanks here, I don't know enough about it to give you a full breakdown, Steve, because it's not my area, but this is a tank that is valued at around £15,000 with the setup that's in there, and it's got some absolutely amazing creatures in there.
I hope the camera can pick these colours up because they're just
do.
Unreal.
So all of that is living coral in there, living on actual stone, and all the marine life. There's crabs in there. In that little cave there's a little boxer shrimp. He looks like a weapon of next year.
I can just about pick him out, but
he's amazing, mate. He's
almost like a sniper.
He's mad.
That's beautiful, just beautiful.
He's right in. He's really nice when he comes out.
Fist up.
Let's see if Harry's out. He's down the bottom. So the other thing that we've got here as well, there's another business on site where you see that sliding door, Animal-tastic. I'll let you have a look in there.
Right.
It's a little bit mad.
I've never had it all seen
It was better for me to hand over to you. What I would do if I was is just pick out a few select lights of these and just minimise it down. Give them an overview of it. Right guys, so marine section, I don't know a great deal. I think there's about 600 tanks
I can believe
that my
that.
colleague Harry that manages this department has to run. And he covers everything from marine fish, tropical fish, snails, crustaceans such as crabs and lobsters, macro fish, amongst loads of other coral as well. So we've got a massive array of coral. Always worth coming just to have a little look round when you come down to the koi store because they're good fish. There's a couple of fish that I really love in here. This spiny little box fish, he loves following anything. So you see he's looking at that camera now. If you move that along, Steve, he should follow that over. He's dead mad. He's so inquisitive, it's unreal.
That's a weird looking thing, that.
You see, this I
Absolutely
don't know what it is,
beautiful.
but again, it's a really magical fish. It just looks like a painting. It's unreal. Little parrotfish there as well. I think that's what it is anyway. Looks like one.
Yeah. Someone will know in YouTube land.
I mean, don't slaughter me if I get them wrong, but the other fish as well is that I really like is he's quite a shy little fellow who sits at the back there, is like all spotty.
Yeah, I see him. That's nice as that. This is just massive.
We've got a coral tank in there as well. All those pieces are on sale. The other thing that we do as well here is actually farming.
Ah,
Okay, so around
Okay.
here you see that they actually grow their own corals on as well.
that's quite clever.
Okay, which is madness. Dogs are having an argument. Other thing, I'll tell him the next filling. Starfish, little crabs.
Yeah,
It's-
on the pike.
A chocolate starfish.
It's actually a chocolate chip starfish, but
Chocolate chip.
he missed the chip bit out. Little hermit crab down there, look, that's mint. And then some cleaner shrimp
Weird looking stuff.
from like that film, innit? District 9.
Yeah.
So I do loads of. He's got a quality little job actually because he'll sell a tank and he can then fill it again with something new.
Yeah,
You know, unlike in the koi world, it's like takes a while to be able to sell a whole tank out. Whole array of coral. These are quite mint. Look at how they move. It's weird.
It's like miniature trees.
Like broccoli stumps.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry now.
That's because you're away.
Yeah. This is just not my department at all. This is just witchcraft. All of it.
Loads of tropical.
Yeah.
I think we're probably more au fait with the tropical than what we are with the marine, if I'm honest, because I think a lot of us grew up with tropical tanks.
Yeah.
I quite like these actually, these Dalmatian mollies.
Oh, swing around again.
Sorry, mate. I think they're quite cool little fish.
These.
It's like a miniature version of a Shiro Atsuri,
Don't say that. Don't
except
say
not
that.
as good.
Well, I did end up being one and
We won't take around this super busy, but
Yeah. Quite busy around here.
have yourself a little look round and search for some nice small fish.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shoot over. Do you want me to sign off, Steve, or are you going to sign off?
Yes, I think we've seen enough, so thank you very much to Krafty, aka Anthony Day, and we're going to get something to eat and a cup of tea and then another walk round. So thanks for that, mate.
You're very welcome, mate. Thank you for coming down.
Lovely. Take care. Bye bye.